The Friday Sports Riot on SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up? This is the Friday Sports Riot on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Hoppe.
I'm Ryan Stuprich.
And here from the Hoppe and Super Rich Show with Risky is Ryan Risky sitting in. What up, Ryan?
Nothing much.
We are doing good too, my man. Call the show.
I wasn't expecting to do much talking today. All right.
Call the show, 630-403-5200. That is 630-403-5200. And if you are too shy or too drunk or too sleepy or too dumb, but you want to get in contact with us online, my Twitter handle to tweet us live in real time is @HoppyRadio893. What's yours, Super Rich?
At Ryan Stuprich.
And what about you, Risky?
At RRisky16.
So here's what's going on. I'm really sick of this new trend that is going on right now across America when it comes to athletes and girls. And it's this thing where girls are so desperate for attention. They're so hungry. They are so starving that they want any way to get fame. They see what the girls like Kim Kardashians do, like making videos with Ray J and going out with Reggie Bush and all these athletes, Chris Humphries, and they get attention for being married to these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here's the thing that is going on that's sickening. These athletes who are just trying to have fun and just trying to get a girl for the night, they end up getting accused of rape because these girls black out, these girls get drunk, they don't know how much they're drinking and how much they're smoking of ganja, and then they end up blacking out and they are embarrassed. So they go, I'm not that rich, but this guy is. I'll claim he drugged me, or I'll claim he raped me because I'm too embarrassed to admit in the hospital room that I got blacked out and I couldn't control how much I drank, or how much I smoked, or how many pills I took. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I agree with that. And I know that we talked about that before, that's sort of what it is with a lot of situations like that where they just try to get the money, right?
What about you, Risky?
Well, hey, it's all about the money these days. I mean, come on, you see people just suing other people just to get money.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So here's the other thing, or Ryan, get to the article. See what's going on. This is from a week ago, but I had to bring it up on the air because this is something that needs to be discussed, that needs to be talked about. It's so sickening.
Yeah, so it says Dennis Rodman has been named in a police report by a woman who claims she was drugged last week during a hotel drinking session with the ex-NBA star, TMZ has learned. According to the report filed with Fort Lauderdale Police, 22-year-old Angela Torrey says she met Rodman and a friend named Charlie at the Ocean Manor Resort Hotel July 1st.
Are any of you guys surprised when you hear something about Dennis Rodman and it involves something really crazy anymore?
Yeah, not too much.
I sort of am, but at the same time, I'm not. Because here's what's going on. If you think that this girl was hanging out with Dennis Rodman because she's a big fan of watching his highlights on YouTube because she's 22 years old, she wasn't alive to watch him on the Pistons or the Bulls, then you're wrong. If you think she's a big fan of him when he's on every trashy reality show, then you are wrong. The reason she is with him, he's like more than twice her age. The reason she is with him is she was trying to get money out of him. And shame on Dennis Rodman for putting himself in this situation. That's an absolute joke that you can't read these girls' minds or be able to read what they're trying to do. I'm not saying that when you're famous, you're going to find a girl that's in love with you because of your personality or your looks. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, most likely girls will be attracted by how much money you have. But there's...
Exactly. You got all these women on dating sites looking for rich guys.
Yeah. But you have to know that when you're 22 years old and you're with a guy who's like 47, then you're with him for the money. This was the girl's plan all along. What else does it say, Super Rich?
Tori claims the three went back to a hotel room where she had one drink and a shot, and then she blacked out.
I have never heard. Now, I've only drank like 10 times in my life. I don't like drinking that much, but I like doing it on occasion. Like, I never seek out getting drunk. It always just kind of happens, and then it's fun. Like, it's a very rare occasion. But every time I've been blacked out like twice. I'm just being real on the radio right now. I'm being real and honest. I had a lot to drink. And I know girls have less of a tolerance. They get drunk easier. But nobody ever on planet Earth has blacked out because you had one shot and one beer. Maybe you're a bit tipsy because you don't drink that much. You're a bit just chill. But no one doesn't remember the night because you had one beer and one shot. This girl's embarrassed about how much she drank. This girl's embarrassed about how much she maybe smoked or took when it comes to pills. So she goes, I don't want to admit that I had 9 beers, 5 shots, and 2 hits of weed. So I'll just say it was 1 shot and 1 beer. Well, here's the thing, Angela Torrey. There's such thing as toxicology reports, which say how much you drink. So when more info comes out, I will tweet it at Hoppe Radio 893. But most likely, this girl was plastered. She was turned up, as the rappers say. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she was. But Tori also told police when she woke up in the hospital, she bolted before she was properly discharged and did not know.
Is she allowed to do that?
Of any medical tests that may have been performed.
Maybe she is, or maybe she isn't risky. But the fact that she bolted out after blacking out and being drugged by an NBA star, that's a bit fishy. You would think, Super Rich and Risky, if you get drugged by an NBA star, you wouldn't just go, hey, whatever. Moving on. Who cares? Let's go find another player that I will accuse of drugging me. No. That's very sketchy that you just kind of bolt out. You don't even leave. You just get the hell out of there. That's a bit sketchy, Angela Torrey. I'm just saying. What do you think, guys?
How could she even bolt like that? Don't they have people saying you can't go?
Yeah, it's just...
I mean, don't you think you'd have, the big nurses running after him saying, get back here?
Yeah, it's just the whole thing's very sketchy. I mean, I'm sure you can't hold them because it's not like she's in a mental hospital or she has a broken leg. I'm sure you can leave whenever you want. It's just very fishy that you would think you'd want to see the report. And we will see this later in the article, but she never took a rape kit. When you get drugged, ladies, usually you like to take a rape kit, especially when you black out because you're not going to remember if you're raped or not. And the fact that she didn't take a rape kit is very fishy to me, guys. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's just like with that Colin Kaepernick thing, right?
Oh, it's like the Colin Kaepernick thing. The Jameis Winston thing's a bit sketchy. The Ben Roethlisberger thing's a bit sketchy. And Kobe Bryant obviously did it because her underwear had some stains on it. Just saying. No, it's what it's. I'm not.
I know. Yeah. You're providing all the facts we need.
Yeah.
Sources tell us doctors did not administer a rape kit, according to the police.
I wonder
report,
why.
Tori claims she had a bruise on her chest and a bump on her head, but no other injuries. The report also says Tori believes she was given drugs by an unknown person without her knowledge, but does not recall.
She believes that she was given drugs, but she can't recall. How can you take her seriously when she's with an NBA player and she can't hold her liquor or she can't hold her drugs? That'd be the first thing I'd think to do, guys, is make sure you don't get that messed up when you're with an NBA player so you can watch your back. And shame on her friends if she did get blackout for not looking for her and not trying to take care of her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What else does it say?
Let's see. She never accused or she never directly accuses Dennis Rodman of doing anything wrong, and he is not listed as a suspect in the police report.
So then, how can she get away with falsely accusing him and reporting this to TMZ? If she never said Dennis did anything...
Wait, she's saying that it wasn't Dennis, and the report says that she's filing it against him, and he's not even a suspect?
Then
how does this even make sense? This doesn't make sense.
This could ruin his credibility. I'm not saying he's a respectable or honest or classy person, but you can't just do that. I don't care that he's worth millions and he's more talented than you'll ever be, Angela Torrey. I'm just saying, that's not fair at all. You couldn't do it to some Joe Schmo because that'd be slander. So how come you can do it to an NBA player? That's not fair. It sets a bad precedent that these girls can just accuse them of anything. Moving on, whatever. Girls should be charged. There should be a charge. If you falsely accuse somebody of drugging you or falsely accuse you of being raped and nothing comes out and there's enough proof that you were just doing it for the money, you should be charged in court. Stop it. It's an embarrassment.
And it's also worth noting Rodman was at the Bamboo Beach Tiki Bar at the Ocean Manor on July 1st during the World Cup match between USA and Belgium, and even shot a pump-up video for the U.S. team that day. Sources tell us Tori recently went back to the hospital for a blood test to see if any drugs show up in her system. Those results are pending. The case is currently under investigation, blah, 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 blah.
It's just, how can you look yourself in the mirror every single day and go, I falsely accuse someone who is probably innocent of something that I know he didn't do just because I'm in it for the money or I'm in it for the fame or I just want to have my name out there for once because I have no talent and I'll never be anything in life, so I'll accuse him of drugging me. Like, how is that respectable? Your dad's probably so embarrassed. And this is the problem in 2014. We all have to be famous, but we don't want to work hard or try and find a talent to do it. We just want it to happen instantly, like every Real Housewife or every Kardashian or every trash bag that they cover on TMZ. It's ridiculous. It's infuriating. What do you think, guys?
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Like, I know it is because you just see all these people. Yeah.
What about you, Risky?
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is just pretty messed up. I mean, you can just go and say any person did it and pretty much try to get away with it now.
Like, what about Kaepernick? He was accused of rape. The girl moved on. The girl drank too much. It was reported she had multiple bong hits and drank a lot. But yeah, she was allowed to falsely accuse Kaepernick.
Well, I think, if you remember a couple of years ago, Starlin Castro was accused of the sexual assault.
Yeah. In 2011.
Yeah, in 2011, and really nothing happened. I mean, he said he didn't do it, and that's kind of, that's pretty much it. I mean, he didn't do it.
It's just infuriating because
like people just want the attention now. Like they'll just they'll go and say, "Oh, it was this guy," and then when they find out that no one believes them or they have no credibility, people move on, the media moves on, and then it's just time for them to just forget it.
Here's my last 2 points before we take a break. First of all, how can anybody take you seriously if you don't remember the night? How can we take you seriously if you can't control your liquor or you smoke too much and you don't remember? Second point. If you're really afraid that something happened when you got blacked out by an NBA player or any athlete, I'm pretty sure you would take a rape kit test because you're afraid that you got raped. But when you know in your heart that nothing happened, that's why you don't want to take the rape kit because you're afraid that you'll be proven as a phony. And part 3. Shame on these athletes for putting themselves in a bad situation. You need to have a crew around you that tells you this girl is bad news. She's only with you for the money. She's 22 years old. Dude, she's just 2 years older than us. She was like in her diapers. Her parents were changing her diapers when Rodman was winning NBA titles in the 90s. Think about that. All right, guys.
Coming up, the Friday Sports Riot.
Ryan, who's coming up at 4:30?
Okay, Herb Lawrence is on at 4:30. At 5 o'clock and 5:30, we have a couple of people from Cleveland coming on the show.
Yeah, we have Ken Carmen from 92.3 The Fan at 5 to talk about everything going on in Cleveland as they have a new bumping sports scene. And at 5:30, one of my favorite radio personalities and comedians, Chad Zumock, will be coming on, as he was one of the underrated guys to predict that LeBron would be returning. People seem to overlook that. Like, he didn't get that much credit on ESPN. Shame on them. Call the show, 630-403-5200. That's 630-403-5200. And if you want to check our show out on demand, go to SportsTownChicago.com and click on the podcast section. We will be right back on the Friday Sports Riot here on SportsTownChicago.com after this. Hang on and stop accusing athletes of something that you're embarrassed of.
The Friday Sports Riot on SportsTownChicago.com.